Right then, now, if I want to store all of my hard drive storage here in Apple's iCloud, well, that will only cost me up to 3 Apple stands a month. Good Lord! Oh, hi everyone, I'm Sam Tucker. And you know, as a moderately successful YouTuber with all of his old footage stored on these hard drives, and this is just some of it, well, I fully expected Linus Tech Tips to come knocking on my door and offer me a free big storage solution. But would you believe he never showed up? Maybe I wasn't the best lawyer to him. Oh well, not to worry, because the people at Zimmer have said, don't worry Sam, we can be your Linus. And today we're going to turn the Zimmer Cube Pro here into our own 16 terabyte cloud storage behemoth and stick it to Apple. Because what did Steve do when they fired him? That's right, he built a cube. So, what is a Zimmer Cube thing? Well, for the tech-savvy people out there, you will recognize this as a NAS machine, which is a network-attached storage. Basically, the way it works is that inside here, under the secret flap, you get a whole bunch of bay drives here. And I've got a preloaded one that I prepared earlier, chock-a-block with a big 18 terabytes of hard drive storage. How much would that cost you at Apple? Don't even think about it. It could even be as much as 4 wheels that they sell there. So anyway, you got 6 of these bays in the front that you can just fill up with your big hard drives, little hard drives, and even on the end here, oh, I'm glad that actually worked. I was a bit worried I broke it. They've actually got a separate 7th bay that you can put those super fast M.2 SSDs. You can fit 4 in that last bay. So you can really chock-a-block this bad boy up. Let's not break it, Sammy. There we are. I'm glad for Zimmer for sponsoring this episode. I don't think they saw my laptop repair video where I may have broken things. So let's not tell them now. Anyway, once you've loaded this up with some storage, what you do is you just plug in the Ethernet in the back here, you plug that into your router, and then you can access what storage, oh my Lord, you put on this. It's heavy because it's quality, that's what's happening. And then you can access the storage from any computer on your network. And you can even set it up to be accessible when you're out and about so that you can connect to it through the internet, thereby turning it into your own personal iCloud, as well as like Google Docs and your own personal Netflix and a whole bunch of stuff. But like me, let's start a little simple. All right, I'm just gonna plug this in. All right, plug in the Ethernet and the power. And as we turn it on, please do not mind these very suspicious otters. So it's now set up, and to connect with it, we should just load up the Zimmer app that came with it. Bang! And just like that, we are now inside the cube. All right, now what you're looking at here is called Zimmer OS. And this gives you full control over your cube. Now, this is good for me because it was all pre-installed and I didn't really have to click much to get into here. But if you are more tech savvy, you can of course install things like TrueNAS or even Linux OS onto your Zimmer Cube if you're crazy. But do make sure that you know what you're doing because, well, I don't know, when you install Linux on something, you could make it as dangerous as the movie, The Cube. And that was deadly. So first things first, make sure that you update your cube. If you thought Apple ran out of ideas calling their OS after Ace Ventura and a tree, well, just wait till you install Murgic. Let's see if the system recognizes my storage. Boom, there it is there, all 3 drives filled up. Now, when I originally plugged in the hard drives, I ordered 3 from a shop, but one of them they sent me was the wrong one. And so when I first set this up, I could only plug in 2 hard drives, which meant that I could only set up the storage in what's called RAID 1, which is almost as bad as RAID Shadow Legends, because it basically mirrors the 2 drives, which is great as a form of backup because you could lose a drive and you don't lose any data because it's saved on both, but then you lose half your capacity. So anyway, that's the way it's set up now. Soon I will set it up in what's called RAID 5, which is almost as good as RAID the Bugman. But I'll set that up a bit later because now it's time to take down Apple and all these other cloud services, starting with the easiest iCloud storage. So we've already really beaten iCloud storage because if we open the Files app, we now have access to 16 gigabytes of all my files, such as all my Cubular music, some of my movies, even my photos. Oh, here he is with Addie. What a lovely couple, and we look even better when we're on a cube. But it does get even better because I have installed another app, Nextcloud. The benefit of this one is that it actually comes with an app for iOS and Android. I can access all my funky storage right here on my phone. Here's all my photos. There I am. Lovely. Again, it's just like your iCloud's photo roll, but stored on your cube, not stored with Apple. Is Tim looking at your photos at night? Well, now you don't have to worry. But I'm not done yet because I also want to replace some Google services, like Google Docs. Blur, let me throw up in my pants. Why would I need that when I've got my cube? Like you can open up readme.md and look at this. I'm editing a document on the cube. Eat a poop, Google. We don't need you anymore. But thank you everyone for watching this on YouTube. Keep doing that. A couple more apps that I just want to show you. One I found is called Navidrome. And what this is, it can basically replace your Apple Music and your Spotify with your own tracks. That's right, if you're like me and you have a bit of a library of MP3s and you like listening to those like an antique fossil man, well, don't pay a subscription to Spotify and that. Use a service like Navidrome here. I'm just wondering if I have any songs here that I can play that will not trigger the YouTube demonetization to take over. Bebo porque quiero. All right, let's just shut that off. We might get copyright claimed. And the great thing with this one is that it can work with different apps. I've got all my music here on the go, and I can download these for offline play. This is playing from my cube. Porque quiero something or other in Spanish. So that's Spotify off the list. What's next? Time to take on Netflix. That's right, it's the big guns. Oh, Netflix have a multi-billion-dollar business? Well, did they realize that we have a cube? And we've installed an app called Plex onto it, where you can load up all of the videos from your own digital movie media collection, and you can play them wherever you want. Like here on the computer, I've got a copy of As Above, So Below. And this is, of course, a legitimate video copy that I sourced. In fact, it's so legitimate that I can't even talk about it right now. But as you can see, it's just like Netflix in that it gives you the cover art, it downloads, all the metadata about it and tells you what actors and actresses are in the thing. And then of course, you can play it right there on your computer screen. But the thing I like about the Plex app is that it works on a bunch of different devices. Come with me to the living room. That's right, we're playing our own private movie collection on the PlayStation 5. And it runs and controls just like a Netflix app. Thanks, Cube. But yeah, there's so much that it can do. Like, there's an app store. Look at all these apps that are available. I don't know, do you need some Emberstat? Calculate all kinds of statistics from your Jellyfin server. Sure, it can do so much. But can it run Crysis? That's the last test I want to do. Can it replace the Xbox Game Pass? For that, we're going to load up the virtual machine, ZVM. All right, we're running Windows on this Mac from inside the cube. Let's see what we're dealing with here and if we can run Crysis on this bad boy. What do we got? 2 gigabytes of RAM. That's probably not going to do it, but hey, you can configure your own virtual machines with more resources. The cube I got comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you can even plug in more RAM if you want. You can even install a graphics card on the thing. That's beyond my understanding of NASes, but if you know what you're doing, you're gonna enjoy yourself. So everything I've done so far has, of course, been within my own home network here, but you can access the cube from outside. If you set it up, you can connect through the cube wormholes to access your cube outside on the internet. Unfortunately, the outside has been a little bit crap recently, but that's okay, because I want to experience the outside my own special way. Let's do it the Sam outside way. Yes, this is how all YouTubers actually go outside. We all got needs. I'm talking storage needs. I needs me some storage. My phone's filling up and I've had enough. But what's the solution? The solution's a cube for pros and for noobs. You don't need no tools, they're all included. Get terabytes for free. By that I mean money, you gotta get the HDDs. But then there is no fee except for electricity. But that is just pennies compared to the cloud. The solution's a cube. You don't need no tube.
Can't innovate anymore, my ass.
Don't pass me the loot. I'm busy configuring my cube. Well, what a cube-tastic day outside, everyone. And that is the Zimmer Cube Pro. Just some final proper thoughts now, just to let you know. Just be aware that when you fill this thing up with hard drives, you're gonna have a lot of spinning disks and a lot of fanage. So it can get a little bit noisy. I would recommend putting it in a separate room from where you're working. I myself plan to put it in the laundry. Another thing I'll mention is that while it's quite easy to select the apps you want and install them, they might take a little bit of configuring to get them the way that you want them. So you might need to dedicate just a little bit of time to tweaking your cube to get it just right. I really hate to say this last part. The worst thing really about it is that it is not technically a cube. Yeah, it is a little taller than it is deep. So for that, I am terribly, terribly sorry. Apart from that though, it's a great thing. Seriously, I'm mostly gonna use this for my video editing stuff. And of course, because it's attached to the network, it means that anyone else attached to the network can access and work on the files as well. Which means that my editing team can access the files from their computers and help me out. But there really is so much that a NAS machine can do. If anything I've shown you looks interesting, then check out the link in the description to get your own little Zimmer Cube. Thanks again, Zimmer, for sponsoring the episode. And until next time, stay cubular, everyone. Same time, staying square.
Subscribe today.
And as you can see, I've just got a couple of photos up here, but here's me and Addie checking out some, I don't know, European country. They all look the same.